Alright, so the first thing is, if there was no pandemic, would you still consider moving to Taiwan or even Asia? So what I mean by that is, are you moving to Taiwan because you want to live in Taiwan? Or are you moving to Taiwan because you want to avoid the pandemic? If you've already been considering moving to Taiwan for a while now, and it just so happens that now that Taiwan is a great place to live, then by all means go for it. But if not, moving abroad is a big decision and it's definitely not one that should be taken lightly. Due to the current situation with COVID-19 and the pandemic in most of the world, I'm seeing a lot more questions online about how to move to Taiwan and how to find a job here and things like that. So in today's video, we're going to talk about some things that you should consider and 4 reasons why maybe you shouldn't move to Taiwan. Alright, so the first thing is, if there was no pandemic, would you still consider moving to Taiwan or even Asia? So what I mean by that is, are you moving to Taiwan because you want to live in Taiwan? Or are you moving to Taiwan because you want to avoid the pandemic? If you've already been considering moving to Taiwan for a while now, and it just so happens that now that Taiwan is a great place to live, then by all means go for it. But if not, moving abroad is a big decision and it's definitely not one that should be taken lightly. There are huge cultural differences, lifestyle changes, leaving your friends and your family behind, finding appropriate work, and even the language barrier. This is especially true for Westerners and even more so for those who have never left their home country before. So although you may find yourself in a safer country and a less restricted country when it comes to the COVID-19 lockdown and stuff like that, that is just one aspect of life, and there are many other aspects that you need to consider. Number 2 is, are you interested in learning Mandarin and Chinese culture? Taiwan is still very much Mandarin orientated, and while English services are available at places like the bank or the immigration services, most of your life will be in Chinese. If you have basic knowledge of Mandarin, you can say some basic sentences, or you can even read some simple characters. You're going to have a much easier time than someone with. Culture is also very important too. The way that people behave and the norms that you're used to back home may not exist here. There will be a lot of frustrating moments, and it's just going to have to be a case of adapting and accepting. The third point goes to those who want to come here to teach, especially those whose native language is English and you want to come here to teach English. There's a misconception that teaching English in Taiwan isn't considered like a real job. People seem to have the impression that you just come in, you talk to kids, kill at your paycheck, and then you should enjoy a nice cushy life. Teachers are expected to be able to run a smooth class, adapt to different children's needs, and always give 110% of your energy, even when it's 9 p.m. on a Friday night. So for the sake of your own well-being, as well as the kids that are attending your class and the parents who are paying top dollar for their kids to attend your class, please have an interest in classroom-based learning and kids and teaching English before you accept a job in Taiwan. My fourth and final point is, don't come to Taiwan if all you want to do is just be a foreigner. And actually, I'm probably better behaved in Taiwan than I am in England, just because I know anything bad that I do will be reflected on Westerners as a whole. I try to be respectful to locals even when it isn't reciprocated. I try to follow the rules even when other people aren't. I always try to communicate with authorities and police officers in Chinese, and I don't say to them, I can't speak Chinese, and pull the foreigner card. I'm by absolutely no means perfect, but I try and do the best not to damage the reputation of foreigners. When I read the news of someone doing something bad in Taiwan, I always breathe a sigh of relief when I find out that person is not a foreigner and it's a Taiwanese person. Because if that person was a foreigner, it creates a stigma that all foreigners are like this.
三立新闻网，台湾前3大新闻网站，影片累积观看数超过30亿。94要客诉，2020台美4次大选蝉联发烧影片第1名。人生惊叹号，台湾最温暖正能量的人生故事都在这里。订阅三立新闻网 YouTube 频道，并且按赞开启小铃铛。国内外大小事，下载三立新闻网 App， 即时新闻不漏接。